Welcome back to Daytime. Our thanks to Ryan and Milos from Gambrinus Bistro and Cafe for those amazing looking sweet potato pierogies. Don't they look good?
Yeah. I
Caramelized
mean,
onions.
well, considering I'm training right now with Kari Schneider, I'm going to stay away right now. I'm going to actually let you indulge in the pierogies today.
I'll carb load for you.
All good. Kari is here from Empower Conditioning. We're talking about lunch, but not for us, but for our kids, right?
Yeah, we got spring break coming up, so this is the opportunity for a lot of parents to revamp their lunches if they're not traveling on this spring break. And a lot of people have snacks in their lunches. They've got all kinds of stuff. It's got to be convenience food, right? But I want parents and kids to kind of understand what they're eating when they're putting this stuff in their mouth. Like those pierogies, that may be a big carb load, but you're looking at sweet potatoes, a homemade batter for the pierogi. You're looking at some butter, just some very simple ingredients. You're not looking at a bunch of fillers. You're not looking at a lot of processed things. So you could use something that's more, you know, they're talking about different grains and that kind of thing. So for their beers, when we're looking at a lot of the foods that we're eating, we might think that they're healthy. Sorry if I'm bashing on any brands or anything like that. But, so what do we got here?
It's got fiber in it, so it's got to be good for you, right?
Okay,
It's good.
So since my voice is low, I've got the sexy radio voice. Someone's going to read the ingredients.
Ingredients: whole oat flour,
That's good, right?
corn bran,
That's got to be good.
sugar,
Okay. It's got to have sugar in it because it's got to taste good.
brown sugar,
More sugar is always good.
sugar rolled oats, corn syrup, oat fiber, corn bran, wheat starch, corn flour, vegetable oil, and then a whole bunch of things that I don't know how to pronounce, really.
Exactly.
And that's the problem?
Exactly. So what you're looking at, even on about the third ingredient, you're looking at a form of sugar cluster, and then there's about 5 other ingredients that go with that sugar cluster. And so really, and you're going to see at the bottom part, they're going to list the vitamins that are on there, because what you might be thinking, you might think that, oh, I'm eating something that's an oat-based cereal, therefore I'm getting the benefits of those oats. A little bit, but it's so processed and there's so much added that they have to add a whole bunch of vitamins on top of that in order for it to be somewhat healthy. And yes, you are getting fiber from it, but you're getting a bunch of sugar and fiber and then some added vitamins and minerals. So, you know, it might say fiber, it might say even on the front, whole grain cereal with 40% of the recommended daily fiber. Those can be good things, but it's so processed and there's so much sugar that there's always, you might as well make your kid a bowl of oatmeal or whole flake oats or some steel cut oats, and there you go, you're far better off.
But to play devil's advocate and defend our fine friends at Kellogg's, if you are going to choose a box of cereal, wouldn't you be better off to choose something like this than your usual sugary
like
box?
tricks for kids.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, better choices, but I'll tell you what's in my cupboard. Okay, and I don't eat them a lot. So here's what we're gonna say. And then we've got 5 kids in the house. We got 3 stepsons, 2 daughters. We got the oldest is 11, the youngest is 1. We got lots of kids.
Yeah.
We have Shreddies, we have Cheerios, we have Raisin Bran, we have Go Lean Crunch, and Just Right. So there's still some Kellogg's products in there, so go Kellogg's. But the point is that on those, you're gonna find less sugar. Still the Raisin Bran, there's a ton of added sugar for the raisins and things like that, but you're finding less sugar, there's just less processed stuff. However, do I want my kids eating those cereals every single breakfast? No. It's just the once in a while breakfast that they're giving, even those cereals, and those aren't the sugar ones. So they're having oatmeal, they're having eggs, they're having other choices, some whole grain bread with some eggs, with some fruit, some yogurt with some fruit, with some, you know, granola and other things. I make some homemade granola, things like that.
Yeah.
I have friends that will say, oh, well, I have oatmeal for breakfast. Okay, well, what do you put in the oatmeal?
Pour the water.
Yeah.
Well,
instant oatmeal.
Yeah,
with sugar.
instant oatmeal with the sugar, or oatmeal and then add like spoonfuls of jam in it. It's just like, okay, well, what's better here?
Get back to, you can microwave it. It takes 2 seconds. It's just as fast as doing the instant oatmeal and adding the water, except you're deciding how much sugar you put in, or if any, or mix it with something else that might be sweeter, like some berries, something that's going to give you, your body doesn't, doesn't get the nutrients as well from all the processed stuff as it does from deciphering it and breaking it down from a berry and from a fruit and from a whole grain. Okay, so we've got goldfish.
Oh, those are popular.
Love goldfish.
They're tasty.
Goldfish. So what I look for is if there's something that's processed and the first 3 ingredients, if there's flour, sugar, or oil in the first 3 ingredients, I basically go, no, I'm not going to buy it for my kids and I'm not going to buy it for me.
All right, ingredients.
Flour.
Enriched wheat flour, cheddar cheese, water, salt, vegetable oil.
So beware when something says enriched wheat flour, that doesn't mean whole wheat. It has to say whole wheat or whole grain in order to be a whole wheat product.
So are they saying
They're
wheat
saying
flour?
wheat because it's the white bleached flour.
But it sounds better.
And it still comes from wheat, so they can say wheat flour, but that doesn't mean whole wheat flour.
Okay.
So when you say wheat flour and when they say enriched, that means that that's got the vitamins added to it. So they broke it down so much that they had to add something
And then
back
they
into
zapped it back with.
Right.
Oh, isn't that lovely?
still taste
I never
good.
really understood
They are
that.
tasty, I know.
They taste great.
But that's because we're hardwired to crave fat, salt, and sugar because that's what helps us survive. And that makes us look for those things. So same thing here. What do you see on the ingredients?
Wheat thins. Well, wheat thins, they're thin, and so that's good.
And there's wheat.
And there's wheat.
It's all wheat,
But
right?
this time it might be, what's the first ingredient?
Whole grain wheat flour.
Okay, so now
Whole
it's a
grain wheat
whole,
flour.
yeah,
Okay,
it
that's
is a
good.
whole wheat one. Better, yeah. But then you're going to get into
Soybean oil, sugar,
second salt.
cornstarch, oat fiber, salt, and glucose fructose.
Sugar
Wow.
added to your crackers.
Yeah, that's like what, the third ingredient is sugar?
Yeah.
In crackers?
In a cracker.
See, you know what? This is just a great illustration of how little we pay attention to the ingredients list.
Yeah.
So if we did eat this, not this, what would be the alternative then to this?
If you can find some crackers that have a lower ingredients, like you see how that paragraph thick ingredient list?
Yeah, it's a lot.
Right. Find ones like Ryvita, like something that has about 3 or 4 ingredients instead of all of that. And the first ones happen to be a whole grain or a whole wheat kind of thing. Instead of, I mean, you might choose for sandwich meat. You might choose, this is a good example, something like this because it says lean and it says all these good things, right? Well, instead of doing this, make extra chicken at night. So make more chicken thighs, make 2 chickens instead of 1 whole chicken for your family
And
dinner.
use the real deal.
And use the leftover meat for your sandwiches because this has that long of your ingredient list
Yeah.
kind of thing. Lots of salt, lots of additives.
The
lots
moral of the story
preservatives.
is less processed, more natural.
Exactly.
Sounds
Gotta
great.
do
Kari,
it.
thank you so much for coming
No
in.
problem.
Appreciate
Love
it.
your sexy voice.
Empowerconditioning.com is Kari's website. It's time for us to look at today's pet of the day.
This fuzzy little